morning. You're watching Businessworld Live. I'm Danie Laurel. It's the start of a new trading day. Let's kick off with our banner story. The new alert level system will be imposed in NCR starting tomorrow, but an expert from the WHO says this move to balance public health and economy might be premature. Camille Samonte has the story.
The new alert level system will finally be piloted in Metro Manila beginning September 16 until the 30th. For this trial, NCR will be under level 4. But not everyone is familiar with the new scheme.
DCQ, MCQ, ano ba yun? Ganun pa rin ba yun? Paliwanag na lang nila ng kung ano ba yung, limbawa ano ba yung level 4 na yun. Kaming mga nagtitinda, sobra kaming nalilito dahil ito ang pinagkakitaan namin eh.
The new system is meant to provide a better balance between health and economy, even providing perks for the fully vaccinated. While it's beneficial, the salon still sees the move affecting profit.
Kaya yung iba, hindi na namin tinatanong kung full vaccine ba kayo or ano, ganun. Basta ang sinasabi lang namin is distance o kaya magsuot ng face mask.
For a business group, it's high time to do away with quarantine measures.
Pag walang makain yan, lalabas din, magse-service din sa mas delikado pa eh.
San Juan Mayor Francis Zamora echoes this. He says the new strategy was approved with forethought.
And if you will notice, mas malaki yung capacity sa outdoors at 30%, yung indoors naman 10% lamang at kinakailangan fully vaccinated pa. So meron ng mga safeguards kumbaga na nakaset up po rito.
Octa Research meanwhile said the new system would significantly affect their projections moving forward.
This is a creative way to try to get the economy moving kasi, at least we have vaccinated people and preliminary data shows na vaccinated people have a much lower risk of contracting severe COVID.
For the World Health Organization, the country should be cautious in opening the economy.
We have significant population coverage within NCR. I believe it's about 60% now. But this is not adequate at this point to relax quarantine positions.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Meanwhile, Trade Secretary Mon Lopez said the pilot implementation of the new alert level system is expected to generate 180 million pesos a week in revenues. Additionally, Lopez said it will bring back 200,000 jobs in restaurants and personal care service establishments. Opening hump day with some nice words from Bloomberg. They did say Southeast Asia's virus wave appears to have peaked. That's some good news here. And it does seem to be the case that the markets are at least bouncing back from yesterday's loss. We are seeing us up by 0.8% in the first 7 minutes of trade, inching back towards that 7,000 levels that we have seen. Of course, today on the home front, it's the last day of MECQ before that new strategy kicks off tomorrow, keeping in mind that 15% of our population is at the moment fully vaccinated. Let's take a quick peek at our movers here on Wednesday. Aboitiz Equity Ventures up by 2% together with SM Investments and GD Cap. So it does seem to be holding firms leading the charge here. But on the downside, you've got the telcos here, Globe in particular, down by more than 1% together with AC Energy and Bloomberry. Now, recall that yesterday, the stocks had actually fallen just in the closing bell minutes. That had reversed an earlier gain. We actually broke through 7,000 already yesterday. This as the investors offshore bought in the most Philippine stocks in at least 7 weeks. You can see that on my terminal here, that major spike up in net foreign buying. But this, according to Luis Limlingan of Regina Cap, is obviously due to the IPO listing that we saw yesterday. That's, of course, the RCR or Robinson's Land Commercial REIT. Let's take a look at how that is trading this morning. Flattish still at 6 pesos and 46 centavos. That was already a rise up by 1 6/10%. from the IPO price, which was at 6 pesos and 45 centavos. It was obviously the most traded stock yesterday, close to 500 million pesos worth was traded. That was around 77.3 million issues. And that caused the turnover in the bourse to surge by over 6 times. We had trades worth 32 billion pesos switching hands. Now, of course, apart from this, we have some new announcements that were given during this listing. This from their CEO, Jericho Go. They are planning to add as many as 2 assets annually to their portfolio of offices. Right now, they're saying that the REIT only has 65% of all of the office portfolios. And he says, what more the malls, they can still add that to the REIT. What more the residential properties, the land properties. Now, when it comes to the yield, they're also mentioning that they're delivering or targeting at least to deliver a low double-digit return. That's rental escalation of 3 to 5% annually. They're going to be paying the first dividend already in November, and the yield target for 2022 is around 5.96%. That's according to their CFO, Kerwin Tan. Now, speaking of Robinsons, let's take a quick peek at the price movement of RRHI here. Still flattish here at 49 pesos and 50 centavos. This, of course, as their president and chief executive, Robina Gokongwe Pes, told Businessworld yesterday that the e-commerce side of RRHI is growing fast. Let's take a listen.
Economic recovery offers challenges to RRHI's own recovery plans. The speed of the recovery of the economy largely depends on how fast the rollout of vaccine will be. However, even if the rate of consumption has decelerated, we are still investing wisely. We still have our essential formats, so we continue to build offline stores. We continue to push for e-commerce and our call to deliver services. And we also continue to manage costs.
Well, an August 31 note of First Metro Securities said Robinsons Retail's balance sheet remains healthy despite its exposure to non-essential segments. So it has a sizable war chest. It also cited a potential boost to earnings from e-commerce and Rose Pharmacy. So amid this pandemic, what are your plans to maximize opportunities in e-commerce? Kasi nga, sabi nila, pati at mga lolo at lola ngayon, nasa online na sila.
Correct. We have our own e-commerce platform. It's called GoRobinsons.ph. And the vision is to have it serve as the go-to virtual mall for most of our formats. Aside from GoRobinsons.ph, our banners South Star Drug, Robinsons Appliances, and Savers Appliances also have its own e-com sites. To date, we have 9 banners in Go Robinsons, and we have also invested in Grocery, a leading B2B e-commerce leader in the Philippines, where Robinsons Supermarket serves as fulfillment centers.
Well, amid the pandemic, Robinsons Retail managed to grow attributable net profit. But of course, the growth varied among its units. Which Robinsons Retail segments will likely drive revenue growth into next year? And what is the plan to boost the other segments?
The high sales of the supermarket due to panic buying and pantry loading last year is difficult to match this year. The non-essential formats, on the other hand, which were greatly affected last year due to an 8-week closure, are now seeing signs of recovery. We are making sure that each of our formats increase its sales channels to reach our customers through omni-channel retailing. Our essential formats, supermarkets, and drugstores still contribute significantly to revenue. We still continue operating stores in unpenetrated areas in the country since physical stores still play an irreplaceable role to many Filipino communities. The experience factor remains relevant in retail, and whether it is our presence offline and online, we want our customers to enjoy shopping.
Well, looking towards next year onward, after bringing in South Korea's no brand, are there other brands you're looking at to partner with next? Anyone you're talking to?
Last year, we signed a buying agreement with Woolworths, Australia's leading grocery retailer. For future brands, Secret.
Okay, that's fair. Now let's go to the interplay of e-commerce and brick and mortar. Before, e-commerce used to be a supplementary platform to brick and mortar. But in the post-pandemic environment, how do you see the interplay between e-commerce and brick and mortar business?
Robinson's Retail used to be known as a pure brick and mortar retailer. But because of the pandemic, we pivoted to e-commerce rather fast. And we see now that the percentage contribution of e-commerce to total sales is growing very fast. Although brick and mortar sales still comprise a large part of total sales, we see the sales of e-com growing very fast.
Well, thank you for that view. Let's go more into change that has happened. What has changed in the way your group operates? And also, what changes in the way your company does business will be permanent, you think?
Throughout the pandemic, we prioritize the health and safety of our employees, and we remain vigilant in this regard. We also improved many internal processes by taking advantage of technology. We did not only digitalize through e-commerce, we also adapted by streamlining processes and went digital on how we engaged our vendors and our franchisees.
Well, one big shift that will happen in the country is a change in leadership next year. What do you hope to see in terms of focus from the new administration that will be coming in? Because the new administration will oversee much of the recovery from 2022 onwards.
We want to see more consistent policies so that we can prepare better.
Okay, brief and direct to the point. For our closing, perhaps you could talk to us about how you see your post-pandemic world and how is your business positioning now for that eventuality?
You know, Robinson's Retail will no longer be known as a pure brick and mortar retailer. We want to be known as an omni-channel retailer, expanding both offline stores and our online business.
Checking in on the biggest headlines, we're keeping our eyes on the Senate has approved on third and final reading the bill which introduces amendments to the Foreign Investments Act of 1991. Now, under the Senate Bill 1156, the required number of direct hires for foreign companies will be reduced to 15. That's from the current 50. It will also allow foreigners to invest 100% equity in domestic market enterprises, except in areas included in the foreign investment negative list. If the bill is enacted, foreign investors will also be allowed to set up and own 100% of SMEs. Recall that the measure is among the bills certified as urgent by President Rodrigo Duterte, this as the country ranks third most restrictive out of 83 economies on the FDI Regulatory Restrictiveness Index compiled by the OECD based on 2020 data. Now, the iPhone 13 is here. iPhone 13 is the latest iteration of Apple's smartphone technology. Apple unveiled the new iPhone along with a brand new iPad mini on Tuesday. The iPhone 13 will have a new chip called the A15 Bionic that enables features like automatically translating text. It also comes with better display, longer battery life, updated cameras, and finally a 1 terabyte storage option. The iPhone 13 comes in 5 different colors and will also have custom 5G antennas for faster speeds. The price for that new iPhone 13 starts at $799. That's about 45,000 pesos, while the iPhone 13 Pro retails for at least $999. That's almost 64,000 pesos. And that's a first look into the business day. Today is Wednesday, September 15, 2021. Catch Business World Live for the market close. It's at 3:15 p.m. today. I'm Danie Laurel. Mask on, wash hands, stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.